James Helder, IFL TV, in association with MTK Global. We're on the road today on our way to the venue. With me, I'm quite fortunate enough to be joined by none other than boxer Yusuf Safa.
What's up, you good?
Get there in the end, you alright?
Long time, how you been?
I'm good. Also joined by trainer Lee Wilkins. How are you, sir? You alright?
I'm alright, driving, stuck. Have to your seatbelt out, mate.
Put that on. Sorry, safety first. So sorry, mate.
Don't worry.
Always got to wear your seatbelts.
It's always the same doing an interview, driving, but no good when a person doing the interview ain't got his seatbelt on, James, is it?
That's right. Don't want to be wearing a windscreen.
Bad examples for kids and all that.
Don't want to be wearing a windscreen today. So for those that don't know, Yusuf Safa's fighting today.
Yep.
He's just on his way to the venue. Tell us a little bit about, I know you're having something to eat at the moment, I hope you don't mind us talking.
Nah, I'm cool, man. You can
Tell us a little bit about how you're feeling and your mood and your preparation.
I feel good, I feel relaxed, feel calm, feel chilled out, just ready to warm up and fight.
Yeah.
That's all it's about, really.
Yeah. Now you've been out the ring for a little while. I know you had a hand injury, you had a few other issues and stuff. Talk to us a little bit about what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, I've been away for a while due to some problems, you know, but it's alright now. It's all good. I had in sparring, I broke my hand while preparing for a fight.
Bad break on.
And a couple of other fights got pulled out on me, so it's been a while, but I'm happy I'm here now.
Yeah.
My weight's good, I feel good, so it's all good.
You look really well on the scales, and I haven't seen you. It's got to be seems for ages. I haven't seen you for at least 7 or 8 months. And you seem to have grown in and matured a little bit as a man.
Yeah, a little bit. You could say that. But yeah, I did the weight right. Of course, when you're away from the ring a while, you don't really train intense, so you put weight on, and but you know, I got it off the right way, and I feel good, feel strong.
Now, Lee, I know you've been going through a tough time personally. I mean, it's hard enough when you lose someone, a member of your family, and when it's someone who you're that close to, it's a difficult process. But I know you've been going through a lot of stuff yourself, so it must be good to sort of.
Listen, it gives you something to focus on. I mean, there's a lot, even with the gym and everything else like that. I mean, we had a kid, like I said, Jack Oliphant, a good kid, who's representing our club. His mum passed away on the Friday, and the kid's gone out there on a Saturday to box for his own country, and he's guaranteed a bronze now. So I mean, everyone has their own tough times in that, James. But I think that's the saddest saying of life goes on. And yeah, this is brilliant for us today. Like, you know, it just gives you a bit of focus, get Yusuf to win, move forward, go and fight for a southern area, and then just start pressing him on a bit more. So that's the most important thing, I think, James. So
Yusuf's only 23 years old. He's a
kid. That's what I'm saying. But there's no rush for this.
There's
no rush for this. You can't, you know, especially in this sport. You know yourself. At the end of the day, a lot of people, I think, what they're doing wrong in this sport is that they want quick. 10 fights in, then where'd you go? Right. You're beating everyone at domestic level, then where'd you go? Then it's a step up, and then it's as much as it's good for the sport. I think sometimes you've got to remember they're still kids. Like, look at the prime people, they say prime boxers, 30 years of age, 32. Now it's like as if they're saying they're washed up. You know, how do you gauge it, James? That's the saddest thing about it.
I think it's case by case, isn't it? Everyone's developing at a different rate. Some people, as you said, are more mature at a certain age, and other people, they're more.
Well, Andre Ward's retired at 33.
Just going to come to this.
Yes.
It says it all, doesn't it?
Madness. One of the most talented boxers there is, retired at 33.
Yeah. But to unify 2 divisions, and to have the career that he's had, and to leave the sport with all your faculties intact and be financially well off.
That's the blessing.
Is that what it's about?
I think so.
Is that, from your point of view, Yusuf, what do you think?
Absolutely, that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to make the right moves, still have the biggest fights, because he did. He had the biggest fights. He fought Kovroch, he fought Kovalev, destroyed Kovalev. So what else is there for him to do? I mean, I heard that he had issues with his shoulders, where at one point he was out for about 2 years because of shoulder injury, and I think that's why he's making a decision just to leave out the sport clean. And man ain't lost for about since he was 12, so
incredible.
He's got nothing to lose. He can retire. I think he is one of the greats.
Do you think a trainer makes a fighter, or does a fighter make a trainer? Virgil Hunter, he's done a great job with Andre Ward, but Andre Ward walked into his gym. So does a fighter make a trainer, or does a trainer make a fighter?
I mean, it's 50-50 if you ask me, because there's some fighters, good fighters, world level fighters that can't click with another world level trainer. So you got to find the right trainer to click with. I mean, Virgil Hunter, some of his fighters ain't clicked like the way him and Andre Ward did. So it tells you, so it's not every trainer is for every fighter. It doesn't matter if you're a world-class fighter. It don't mean you can go to the best trainer in the world and train, because you might not click. And when you don't click, things go wrong for you.
There you go. I mean, what's your thoughts on that?
Well, going back to training, I mean, listen, look, you remember the first interviews we done with Yusuf. Like I've always said, we got a funny old pack, because when me and Yusuf was training together, or even as kids, when my Billy got cancer, Yusuf kind of like stopped training until I was ready to come back into the sport. So, you know, like he went, he never come back. And when I was ready to go back into doing the training, Yusuf jumped on the, like, jumped with us, James. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we've got that kind of relationship where everyone knows that, like, we'd do anything for each other. Do you know what I mean? You know, like, I'll try wherever it is, and that's how you know, we row like cat and dogs. Most people know it like that. But you know, it's like with Archie Sharp, with Richard Sawyer, they've got another great relationship as a trainer and a like thing. So I mean, look at Al Smith, like Graham Everett, all them kind of trainers as well. Like they've got
very underrated. Tony Borg as well.
Listen, but all this, but what I'm trying to say to you is, but these trainers out there, you know, you can name them. But what I'm trying to say, these trainers, Al Smith gives more to them training them kids. Like he's like a dad figure. He's like you know, but he's so much passion. You go to see boys. There's so much passion about it. It's a family scenario. You know, like look at them. Like Graham Everett, it's the same thing again.
Kickstop Gym, they do a great job.
Tony Sims, but all of them. Like it's that kind of concept where you got to remember this sport's a hard sport as it is. Everyone knows it's a lonely sport. It's this, that, and the other. But isn't it nice to have a load of people around you that you can absolutely rely on and want to be around, and that you know that when you do turn up somewhere, you've got a family scenario.
There you go.
That's what I think. That's my bit important. Even going back to, I'll say again, even with Barry McGuigan and Shane McGuigan and things like that as well, with them as trainers as well. Like Shane is a trainer, phenomenal trainer, doesn't get the recognition as what most people give him. You know, but he's a great trainer. But he does the same thing with a family scenario.
Got to respect any man that cares about their fighter enough to wipe his arse when he's gloved up and warm. I've got massive respect for.
Yeah.
Sorry to stop anything in your
Mark Rowe's the king of that one, I'll tell you.
It's sometimes a thankless task being a trainer, isn't it?
Well,
you guys don't do it for money.
It's like anything. Listen, it's all good when it goes well.
That's right.
Do you know what I mean? When it goes bad, it's the trainer's fault.
Right.
So that's the best thing about this sport, isn't it?
Let's talk a little bit about the main event this Saturday. Joseph Parker defending his heavyweight WBO world title against Hughie Fury. A chance for Hughie to be the second Fury to hold that title as well, which is incredible.
100%. I think Parker's swallowed.
Do you reckon?
Yeah.
Why do you say that?
I just do. I just think he's just. I think the whole. It might be just a Kiwi laid-back scenarios or whatever it is with them, but they just think about their whole team that just doesn't. The vibe doesn't feel good off of them. I don't know if you noticed that yourself yesterday. They've got a real negative vibe. You know, you're supposed to be a world champion.
It must be a bit surreal for them though, like they're not used to dealing with.
But it's irrelevant, you're a world champion. It's irrelevant, you're a world champion.
Yeah. Furies, I've got to say, have been very hospitable to them, very fair play, but it must be a strange surrounding when you've got 20 members of a team, all over 6'5",
yeah, but
all wearing the same
at the end of the day, Parker's, you know, no one can fight for you. Parker's the world champion.
Very true.
Do you know what I mean? Like, where's his aura as a world champion? If it was Deontay Wilder, he'd be throwing with every single one of them, wouldn't give a shit.
Yeah.
You wouldn't get away with any directors or anyone, like any top.
That's a valid point.
Any top man that's supposed to be number one would, as far as I'm concerned, would not let it happen. Because you're supposed to be the alpha male. It's your number one spot, and you're the heavyweight world champion of the world. As a man, like, I know it sounds silly, but as a man, I don't know.
There you go. It's good. It's a good fight. I mean, it's an interesting concept as well with it being on YouTube. Everyone's intrigued about it. It's got a bit of buzz about it.
But James, let's go back to YouTube. Where's your background?
YouTube.
And this is the thing with it. And you've done this where you're 10 years in front of everyone.
I don't know about that.
Well, you started this in what, 2008, 2009?
Yeah, 2010 we started. But it took us a little while.
But 2009 when you was your first thinging out, when you and Cougs and But what I'm saying to you, so you was there 8 years before that then, 7 years before that.
Yeah.
So is it...
It's funny how YouTube's grown into this sort of monster, isn't it?
So this is what I'm saying to you. So is it a bad thing for boxing?
No, definitely not. More platforms that are going to show boxing and it's accessible to more people is better for boxing, you know?
Yeah, the only thing I think is a bit sad is that not many people got behind Hughie as much as they should, like general boxing players.
What do you think that is?
I haven't got the answers.
He's such a nice man, nice fellow, Hughie, isn't he? He's genuinely kind, he's a genuinely nice man.
But it's like anything, he's from Manchester, he's one of your own. How does it, I don't get a gauge on that.
Some other big fights coming up in the heavyweight division as well. We've seen Deontay Wilder taking on Luis Ortiz. That's going to be a great fight out in New York.
Massive.
Big implications for the heavyweight
Funniest fight
division,
today though, Pete McDonough versus Shane Singleton.
Wow, forgot to mention that.
Yeah.
How funny was that weighing this time when Peter McDonough had an altercation, then got his Guinness on stage and stuff.
Pete McDonough, you know yourself, been around that man for years. Even with you, Yusuf, innit? How funny is that kid? Huh?
He's eating his just had a mouthful of sand.
Funny guy. He can't overdo it sometimes.
Yeah.
But that's him.
He's a funny guy.
I think he's brilliant.
It's an incredible career he's had as well. To think how long he's been boxing.
He's the Cinderella man.
The level of fighters he has fought. Give him his respect.
I mean, I've been up there with him. He's been really unlucky sometimes as well.
Yeah. No, I give you that.
But he's a phenomenal bloke.
So what's the plan then for Yusuf? Hopefully everything goes well today. You're looking to get some momentum now for him.
Yeah, getting back out against Southern Area fight next, hopefully, and then just take the next 18 months as serious as we can, and you know, knocking on British levels.
Would you like to see him start making the moves on the domestic scene?
Yeah, 1,000,000%. Like I said, I want the Southern Area, then the English, and then the British. That's the goal in the next 12 months, 18 months. Weight at the moment's good. I can do featherweight comfortably.
Great division, the featherweight division as well.
Yeah, there's some good sparring out there as well, and good training. So I think I don't think he's a super feather. I think he's too small still.
Do you think he will naturally grow into that weight in the future?
In the end.
In the end,
Do you know what I mean? In the end, yeah. So that's the plans with it. It's
been a quite interesting career for yourself though, hasn't it, this boxing life?
It's been funny.
Troy used to live at your house or your nan's house. That must have been an experience. I mean, Troy lived with you.
I mean, that was
What year was that?
That was 2008, 2009. That was with Troy. I mean, like I said to you, like the reason, like even with the whole thing with Troy, like I said to you, when he won the prize fight, that was the week my Billy got cancer. So it was a little bit of obviously, you know, and with Spencer and things like that, it was good. Spencer and the team done brilliant for Troy, and the most important thing was we didn't want Troy to know, because we didn't want to ruin his chances. Because at the end of the day, James, like, I come into the sport as realistically nothing. You know, and I've always been with Men Edwards, with my first thing with the team, with Archie and Mark and that. Then obviously having Troy, the experience and the knowledge I gained with having Troy around me was phenomenal for the other kids. You know what I mean? As a pro trainer.
What a fighter Troy was.
He was listening.
Love to have seen him come out of this country 15 years ago.
But listen, he'd have been a world champion.
What a fighter.
You know, and when he went to China, when he fought for the WBC, I was gutted I couldn't go out there, but obviously things happen. I've got another good fighter as well now, that Alex Dinamaji. Dinamaji was in Listen, that's
out in Turkey.
He was in Mexico.
Yeah, Mexico. Sorry.
And he's another very good prospect. Marquez is sparring partner.
Yeah.
So you know, and like I said to you, even in our own stable, we've got Archie Sharp, Louis Green, who's fighting today against Freddie Kiewit. That's
good
another.
Fight, that is.
Yeah, listen,
undefeated Freddie Kiewit, isn't he?
I think they listen. One thing they'll get with Louis Green is a fight. So it's whether or not Freddie can stand the pace, because Louis can definitely fucking maul you. he don't muck about you, does he? Huh? He's eating his food there. So yeah, so no, we like I said to you, for like nearly 10 years now I've had the boxing club, and it's been next year. It'll be a great.
For those that don't know, your club, Body Shots ABC, it's a fantastic gym.
Yeah,
I've been down there a couple of times to do some bits with Yusuf and the boys. It's a great place.
Yeah, kids are brilliant. And that's what it's about, really. Like I said to you, but I never wanted an amateur club. I just wanted to stick with the pros. But it's amazing what gets stuck on your lap, and we've had quite a few national champions, so it's nice. Like I said to you, must be doing the same, right, James? Yeah. I don't know what it is.
Do you reckon any of the amateur kids, you'll see them sort of develop and turn over with you and that journey?
Well, it's the same. It's like Archie Sharp and Yusuf both started off at the same time. Yeah. So Archie Sharp's on a phenomenal thing at the moment. He's doing double well. Yusuf's obviously doing really well himself. There's a few other kids. Like I said to you, little Jack Oliphant, Mickey Burke, little Fred Moss, Caleb. There's so many decent little kids at the club now coming back, and obviously we've had the joining of Bobby Beck from Repton. He's come over.
That's great. That's great for the club to have someone of his experience.
I mean, listen, the man's wealth and the ore and everything else is brilliant. I don't know how much more I want to do the amateurs for, if I'm honest. But it's just nice to see these kids. Like I said to you, all these kids are fighting for something that they believe in. And you talk, like I said to you, passion and things like that, James. When you put the vest on, this is what I look about, is legacy. When you put a vest on for the club, their kids want to fight for your club, saying that we made. You know, that's what it makes me feel good about. And then obviously I've got my own kids, hopefully when they grow up. I've got my nephews and my own sons and that hopefully they'll want to carry it on. So,
Got your love child in the back eating his Nando's.
Yeah, little you finished my first little proper kid that pisses me off more than anyone. Huh? I feel I've retired from boxing more times than he's had Nando's, and that's saying something. You know what I mean? Fucking joke, innit?
That's good, man.
But my predictions for today, Huey wins.
How do you see, what method do you see Huey winning by?
Your best bet, safe bet, would be on points. But I don't know if Parker's going to get desperate in the first 4 rounds, come out, try and do something, maybe get caught big himself. You don't know.
It's a travesty that we're not seeing Tyson Fury fight in these big fights, isn't it? Don't you feel?
But Joe is, listen, Tyson's on his own thing he's doing at the moment. Number one is he gets himself back right to where he should be. That's the most important thing. I think the UK thing is a disgrace, it's a farce. You know?
What other person would be out of work waiting on a decision for 16 months, 18 months?
No, it's a joke. But listen, it's like I said, someone is outspoken sometimes, and because it don't fit right, this is what you're dealing against. And
What, do you genuinely think there's a massive conspiracy against him? Let's just be honest.
But it's got to be in there, because it's like anything. How can we say there isn't a conspiracy about the man? Because everything that man seems to do is, you know, people. There's always something they're stopping him from doing. You know, is it the fact that the money's not there with him? But you know, him and Joshua would be the biggest fight, or him and Deontay Wilder would be one of the biggest fights in the world.
I think you'd look back at them fights in 10 years. I think they were pinnacle fights. They'll be big nights. Imagine Tyson Fury v Joshua.
But isn't it sad though? What I'm saying is, isn't it sad that the man that beat the man, and everyone else is creaming the rewards? That's the saddest thing about this sport. Because if you're looking at it from the point of, listen, Joshua done what he had to do, and they got given the opportunity. Anyone would take it with both hands. But how would you want to be the world best #1 champion, knowing that the man that beat the man, give it all up? That's got to grate you, wouldn't it, you, James?
I personally would love to see that fight, regardless of any belts. I don't think it needs belts.
Ah, of course it doesn't.
Belts, to me, that fight,
of course it doesn't.
It's a big step.
But it's like anything. Does Tyson really want it though? Because what more can he do? He's done everything that no one ever, like, even in, like I said to you, he can retire, and in 10, 15, 20 years time, there's only ever going to be one thing that everyone's going to be talking about. It ain't going to be about it's going to be about the man that beat the man.
There's rumours that even when he's not been in the greatest of shape, he's still playing with domestic rivals in sparring. So
of course, but talent is the brain, innit? Because he overthinks things. You know, he's got the best movement I've ever seen from someone to throw. Like, he just throws all angles. He's there. He's 1 minute. He's there. I think like I said, it's a shame, but what can you do with it?
Hopefully,
time will tell.
Hopefully, he gets himself and the board and whoever else get him in a position where he's able to work and do what he wants to do in life.
I'd like to think so.
If he's happy, I just hope he's happy.
Listen, at the end of the day, I think he's, you know, he looks in good form. He was tormenting everyone yesterday.
He was on fire yesterday.
I've never seen a man as big as that getting a Mini Cooper before.
So funny.
So how do you make that up? Tyson Fury sitting in a Mini Cooper at the university. It's mental, absolute mental.
He's a funny guy.
Absolute mental.
So now, what will you guys do now then? You'll get to the venue. How long before you sort of warm up, get gloved up? What's the routine like?
Probably get there about 3:30. Probably start getting ourselves ready for just about 4:30, about hands wrapped up and everything else like that. And then just slowly start, you know, start the process. I think we're on about 6 o'clock. And then hopefully get it done. Make sure there's no injuries, no cuts, nothing like that. And then enjoy the night, James, innit?
Will you eat probably 3 or 4 more times before tonight? Before
No,
you fight?
His food has been brilliant as well. This is the scary thing about it at the moment.
He's looking
Last
really
meal
well.
now. Had breakfast and then this is it.
So what will you do then? Just chill out, get in your zone,
Chill,
put your
get in
music
my zone.
on?
Yeah.
How does it work?
Just chill out, sit in the changing room, stretch out, slowly, you know, get wrapped up, put your shorts and everything on, and then warm up on the pads and get ready to fight.
You're excited to get back in the ring?
Been a while, so yeah, pretty much.
Explain that buzz when you're in the ring.
I mean, I don't know. There's nerves go through you. I mean, and then once you're in there, everything's just, all the nerves go away, and you're just focused on what you have to do, and that's how it should be. Well, that's me, but I don't know about other people. I mean, I only get nervous once my hand's wrapped up, and then when, you know, going towards the ring, I got no nerves. So, but I think them kind of nerves are good because you're focused and you're alert that you don't get caught with a silly shot or you don't make a mistake, and that's what it is really.
Them little bit of nerves are sort of keying for your senses and your instincts.
Yeah, if you're too relaxed, you're gonna get caught silly, you know. I mean, if you're alert, you're sharp, you don't, you know, you won't take risks, and you do what you have to do.
You've fought on a lot of the undercards, big undercards of Tyson Fury, and I know you've been involved with Fury a lot. Do you gauge and learn a lot from being around them sort of people?
Of course, man. They've been fighting pretty much since they were born, you know, and the experience they have is nothing to, you know, it's the best experience they have, and you can't beat that. And you know, Tyson's given me a few advice. Every time I've spoken to him, he's given me advice on boxing and training and stuff like that. And you know, he's a good guy. So
that's the side that people sometimes don't see of Tyson.
No, they don't say that. They don't see it, and it's sad because he's actually a true guy. Like, he's real deal. He's not what you see. What you see in the media is him just acting up, being a funny guy, which he is. But if you say hello to him and you speak to him, he's got all the time in the world, and that's what the media don't show. And that's why I think people, you know, say bad things about him. And then there's other fighters that are like goody on the screen, but then they don't know the reality at the back, which I don't want to say nothing. It's none of my business.
Yeah, of course, I get that.
But the public sometimes don't really know a fighter. Like, they judge him through the screen.
It's very true. It's a big point.
So
it's a very big point.
But I guess it is what it is. That's how it is.
Well, hopefully it won't be too long before we see the big man doing what he loves.
Yeah, I mean, I think he'll come back. He has to come back. What else is he gonna do? He either retires and lives his life. He's living his life right now, or he just comes back and gets on with it again.
I've got one for you, James.
Go on.
The best marketing I've ever seen done is Tony Bellew.
Well, I can explain that comment to me.
Because Tony Bellew is the same kind of character as Tyson Fury back in the day, right? When they first ever come out and they started on their careers, Tony was, mate, he spoke before he could talk, and like everything he said was mental.
Watch
mate,
Tony, watch the Bellew Macintosh
I was
build
gonna see the whole thing, even Enzo, Oval McKenzie and that, you know, like it was just, you know, like, and then when he left Warren, and obviously he went to Matchroom, and to me, the Tony Bellew of the person you see today, that's the real Tony Bellew. It's like, you know, he's a phenomenal guy. Do you know what I mean? But what I'm saying to you is, any person with passion, and when you remember these lads that are fighting, they know how to fight. It's the same thing with any person. It's about how you manage them sometimes. Do you know what I mean? You know, and the thing is with it as well, like, I just find with it, like Tony Bellew, when he come away and he started to calm himself down and started to, you know, talking, and even with David A, like David A's been around for years, but Tony Bellew just looked like he had that bit more class. You know, like, and it's always about that, and that's what I'm trying to say with these people. You forget, fighting is the easy part, really, 9 times out of 10. The hardest bit about today now in this sport is how you conduct yourself. But that's in life in general, isn't it? Yeah. You know, and I just think that's what I just think with it, even with Tyson, like how we see him, how we know him. That's not everyone gets to see that kind of side to him. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Because he doesn't mean what he's saying. It's all tongue in cheek. He says it just for the, but everyone takes it as if, oh, he said this and that and everything else.
Yeah, when he's just having a laugh.
When he's having a laugh, that's what people are trying to get with it. You know, it's that whole, it's that whole concept of banter, innit? What is banter? It's a joke. Yeah. It's not malicious. It's not, you know, I know he's got his values and his points and and all that. But what I'm trying it's how he gets portrayed, innit? Yeah. That's the thing with it with Tyson. I think.
Yeah. I was speaking to John Fury about him today, and he seems to be in a great place. So as I said, hopefully.
Yeah, he'll be there.
He'll be back, mate.
At the end of the day, how old is he now? 29.
Yeah, he's 29.
So what was we saying earlier about peaks of prime?
Technically not hit his peak yet.
No. So there you go. So it's the same. It's the same with everything else with it all. Yeah. So no, I think it's all good for British boxing. Fury wins tonight. There's a unification fight. Yeah.
Implications of the winner could face. I'm hearing the winner could face the winner of Bellew Hay. That's just what we're hearing speculated. So interesting to see how that plays out as well.
well, whoever, yeah, that's another
Another story.
That's for another show, innit?
That's for another drive. Another drive. You boys have almost done me memory card. Yusuf, anything you want to add, mate, before we go?
No, I'm cool.
Yeah,
Nothing there,
well,
but just tune in on YouTube. Parker Fury. That's the fight.
Yusuf Safa, Lee Wilkins, thank you very much for
Cheers,
being 12. It would be
gents.
great to get you back on the channel, lads.
Cheers, lads.
Thank
Cheers.
you.